Good afternoon. This is Speak On It. You already know it's a live and active opportunity for you to call in here and speak on the issues we're going to talk about. My name is Dr. Kofi Maalik. We might have a guest here tonight before it's over with, State Rep. LaShawn Ford, because he wants to talk about the West Side heroin and opioid task force. If he get here, we'll talk about it. But before we get to that, we're going to talk about a couple of other issues. I was looking at Facebook today, and I saw something where this young man was out on the expressway. He jacked a ride on one of those 18-wheelers, and he was just having a good time. And I want to just look at that as a frame of reference, because we'll be here for the next 12 weeks. And we're going to spend quite a bit of time during this process talking about the substance situation that's plaguing the community. Not just heroin, but pills. A lot of people looking at the older people doing what they're doing, but a lot of these kids, they doing so much pill that all of the recreational marijuana ain't going to make no difference, because the kids, they're going to be high as hell. And we need to see what that looks like. So now we're going to look at this video, and then we're going to come back and we're going to kick it. You can call in here, and you see the number up here, and we can talk about how this is happening and what we might be able to do to watch out for our own shorty.
What y'all on? He say don't die on shorty. I hopped on, he up right on the E-way, shorty. Wherever this bitch take me, I'm gone. I don't get no fuck.
Now, we're gonna take a little break here, and then we're going to come back and look at some part two, how that is perceived by someone else recording it that's in a vehicle behind him. But since we was going to talk with State Rep. Ford as it relates to the heroin epidemic, particularly on the west side in his district, we're going to just deal with this, because sometimes you have to follow your spirit. Now, the truth is, the boy was on something more than that truck. I know that. Now, I don't know what he was on, but the sadness is, had he fell off the truck, that's what I want you to understand. Had he fell off the truck, we would have pretended that he was an angel and that somehow or another the truck driver put him on that. And because he was black, the truck driver hit a bump or a pothole and made him fall off and kill himself. That's what we would have said, because that's what we always do. We make excuses for insanity. Now, I don't know what this boy was on, but he was just doing it for a joyride. He had done some things before, and he said he didn't expect to get all this attention. Now, the question is, what will the legal system do to punish him, or what will the system do to help him? Because obviously, he is headed to hold headed to the afterlife. Now, he didn't look too deranged. He just looked like he's having a good time. But you can't have a good time on the expressway riding in traffic on a semi-tractor truck. Common sense. And you all ain't going to hear what I'm finna say. That boy that got shot 16 times, or how many times he got shot. When he was walking down the street and all of that situation developed, it was something else in his system. Some substance. And I was talking to Amari in here, one of the staff people at KNTV, and he was saying, well, you know, seeking attention can be an addiction. And he's right. The boy is seeking attention. So whether your attention is positive or negative, you need it. I know back in the day we talked about transactional analysis, and they said any type of stroke or attention was better than nothing because your subconscious self just yearned for the attention. So this boy here needs so much attention, he would take a chance. He was at first, he was on top of the truck. And then they went on a viaduct, so dude had enough sense to know that if he kept his butt up on top of that truck, he was going to hit that concrete. So he slid down. And you saw what happened. Poor thing. But he still hit. Now, did the police catch him yet and put him under some type of surveillance and some type of treatment plan? I don't know. But whatever he was on, and maybe he wasn't on nothing but just being high, but it's dangerous because he's a danger to himself and others. Now we're going to look at the other part of this. Now I don't know about all of the language, where the people in the car looking at him, and I want us once again to look at how we respond to stuff. Everything is sort of like a joke to all of us. Take a video and laugh, but not see the real pain, danger, and sadness in the situation. So let's look at this other piece here.
What are you doing, dude? Dude, he's dancing and shit. Oh my god. Wait, what? Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, look.
Now, let me ask y'all something. Now, let me ask you something. I want you to just think for a minute. And this is a live call show. That's somebody's offspring. He probably ain't no older than 21, 22. And obviously, he's having a crisis. And a lot of times, those crises roll into other things. But this young man was out here with his life on the balance. Anything could have happened. And it wouldn't be funny. But at the time he was doing it, it's just like any other thing, I guess, when you in that zone, whatever you're reaching for, what you feeling in, I guess, is more satisfying than the reality that, what if? Here's a dude on a truck. Reach off the truck and try to touch the highway. What insanity. And the only reason he was able to get off is that another truck blocked this truck because he wanted the driver who had already spotted him to pull over and let him off. But before then, he tried to jump off on another moving car, and the car wouldn't allow it because the car knew if this sucker hit the ground and I run over him, my life is messed up. And it would have been, because then this boy would have been ready to sue, and he would have been the victim. But the person driving the car would have been the one that would have went to jail. Think how society has reprogrammed us, that we are all scared to try to help somebody. Because if we try to help them, they're going to hurt us. All right, I understand we got a caller. Caller, speak on it.
Yes, Doc, and also it's so glad to see you back on TV. This is Steve, Doc. You might not remember my voice. I had a stroke back in March, so I lost my speech, but I'm doing the best I can. So just in case you don't understand what I'm saying, don't hesitate. Please just ask me to repeat it.
Yes, sir.
You know the most sickening thing about what I just saw? Not the young boy that was hanging on the truck. Nobody called the police
Right.
to say, hey, listen, I'm on the 94. There's a young man hanging on to the truck. He might fall. But nobody called. So I see sickness on both ends. Craziness to do something like that, and more crazy to just look and don't do nothing.
It's true.
We are some sick people in this world right now. But again, what do we do? What do we do? And like I say, Doc, it's so glad to see you back on the air. I really miss you. And again, I'm doing therapy, so don't worry, I will be calling. And thanks for taking the call. Let me get out there so I can hear your response. And thanks again for taking the call.
Oh, yes,
Thank
sir. It's good to hear from you, and we pray for a speedy recovery. And I know that the challenge you have, and that's all it is a challenge. And as a champion, you will conquer whatever it is that need to be conquered. Now, you're absolutely right. You know, I'm sure there was a lot of opportunity for somebody to call somebody. And the sadness is, at no point in this video did we see any intervention from law enforcement. Actually, we just saw a boy that looked like he got away with clowning. And that's a sadness because they do appear to get away until the police get them in a jam, and then all of what they have done that would have been classified as signs asking for help, we don't think about that. We just think about the police had to restrain him. He had to do this, he had to do that. But now the question would be, if that boy was on substance, would he have heard any words telling him, young man, it's a danger? And look here, people, don't get this twisted. But I'm going to say this. This ain't about the woman, it's about the mentality. And no, I'm not implying that the lady was on any substance. But I want to make an example. This is a boy on the expressway on a truck. A couple of weeks ago, we had a lady that dropped her phone on the L track. Almost the same thing. She went for the phone. But people criticizing the people that was on the platform that didn't help her. But we saw some type of communication between her and one or two of those people. And we don't know what they said, but let me tell you what I know would have happened in many cases. Had one of the brothers said, look out, sister, you shouldn't do that. You know, that's a danger. She probably would have cussed him out. She might have even called the man with the dog and made a complaint. That's what we fear. We scared to intervene. Why? Because when you intervene, they twist it. So when she did it, if they would have said, don't do it, she probably would have ignored them, because she did anyway. She had enough sense to know not to do it, but she followed her spirit, because whatever was pulling her, she went for that. So there ain't nothing nobody could do because she was determined. So then when she get ready to come up, dude with the dog on his job, his instruction might have been, his job description might have been, that ain't what you do. But suppose he would have reached and she would have tried to reach up and the dog would have snapped and then all of them would have got smacked. You feel me? So a lot of us are scared. I was at the gas station on a real hot day the other day. Slick female get out of the car. Cell phone on her ear, pumping her gas, and I'm right behind her. And I'm sitting in the car, and this had already happened. And I want to say, lady, look, you know, with that cell phone on, hazard it is, we're subject to get blown up. But I bit my tongue because had I said it, she might have took that gas and sprayed me. That's what we are dealing with, so we need to get out of denial. We can't help each other because we are afraid of each other. And until we get back and stop letting the enemy tell us how to treat each other, we're going to continue to do stupid stuff like what we saw with this boy. Caller, speak on it.
Yeah, how you doing, Doc?
Fine, how you doing,
I
James?
appreciate you taking my call.
Yes,
now,
sir.
you know the media, right? When y'all was talking about the shooting and all that, I think they part of the shooting. Some of these politicians and preachers and ministers, and like I think Lightfoot is involved, and JP Fisk, because they don't go in the Chinese neighborhood and shoot, but they be in the black neighborhood all the time, 24/7.
Well, I hear you, James, and I do feel you. And I hear people say that somebody got on a mask, and I don't doubt that. I hear people say that they're harvesting organs, and I don't doubt that. But I do know this here. The other day, on the day, 4th of July, I'm in the house, you dig? I got a cane course, and I got a pit bull, and they let you know anytime anybody is close to the house. But so many firecrackers, illegal fireworks, popping, so I'm sure I heard it, but I just figured it was fireworks. I want you to understand this here. So later on, I come out the crib to walk the dog. The neighbor said, did you know there was 2 dead people in a car right at your gate in the back? They had it taped off, red and yellow tape. And somehow dude had walked up and snuffed 2 folk right behind the gate. I ain't heard nothing. So question become, did white folk do that? The police do that? No. Negro did that. And that's the problem. Negro keep blaming everybody else. But Negro got enough that he doing himself that white folk ain't got to do nothing to you. He ain't got to do nothing to you. Police ain't got to do nothing to you because you're doing it to yourself. And every now and then they do a little something to you. And sometimes that's because you be on something. And sometimes when you own something, you know that you got a different type of strength. So they have to tase you. Sometimes they have to kill you. Sometimes they do. But it's all because of the fact that we as a people, we as a community, have lost contact with our essence, our spiritual ancestral being has been aborted because now we not here. Now, something that I'm sure that State Rep LaShawn Ford was going to talk about is this, because he's spearheading this heroin opioid task force. But I'm going to read this. I'm going to read it because you need to hear it. Statewide unintentional drug overdose reporting systems gathered drug overdose death data from communities on the west side of Chicago from July 2017 to June 2018. Data showed that there were 202 newly reported drug-related overdose deaths in these communities, as compared to only 5 with prior documentation overdoses in the last few years. The most alarming finding was that 176 of the 202 deaths was from illicit opioid drugs overdosed. Now they go on to tell you about how many of them was black and da-da-da-da-da, and they was ages 35 to 44. And from what I heard LaShawn Ford say is that is unacceptable. And as a result of that, he and other people in the community are working together to try to come up with ways, number one, to bring the awareness to the community, and I would hope to try to refer people to places that they'll actually go to and get treatment. I want you to hear this though. Up until 2017, you had 5 documented ODs in the same area. But from 2017 to 2018, it jumped up to 202 in a year. Y'all remember a few weeks back, all them dudes were just dying like flies and going to the same spot and just falling out. Why? Back in 1984, I used to work on the west side in Bethany Drug Abuse Clinic. But now they say that folks like me, even with a PhD in therapeutic counseling and education, well, you can't work with those people. You have to be certified. Certified by who? By us. Who is us? How in the hell you little somebody else come into my community and tell me how to deal with black people that's suffering? And say, regardless of your experience and your work, history, and your ability to deal with these people, unless you take the test we make with our little AA or no degree at all, we ain't gonna certify you to do it. Well, that's why I got a doctorate in the first place, y'all. Yeah, it's legitimate. It ain't no, this shit. I know I look generic. I not care. I chose this. But I got it so I could say to you all, I don't have to take your damn test. You don't certify me. How you gonna tell me how to talk to that boy on that truck? Do you think some white boy or Chinese or Asian can come into my community and tell me how to talk to that boy? Do you think you can do you think you can go out there and rescue him off that truck? No, you can't. But you don't want real live, stomped down brothers and sisters working with these people. So you give all the money to these people with mentoring programs, and this boy is riding a truck, going nowhere, and don't care where he end up. But you as a community, we as a community, allowed them to do that. So what I'm saying is that for the next 12 weeks, I'm going to be speeding like that boy was on that truck. I am. And I'm going to come here and I'm going raw. I'm going to do this here. Because the drug thing is killing us. Yesterday I was there thanks to Harold Davis, working with some of his summer workers. And these two kids waiting on a ride, one boy waiting on his mama. They about 17, 18, right in front of the school. And so I had to stand there to be sure they're safe. The other boy asked this boy, walk with me to the corner so I can get the Uber. The boy waiting on his mama said, I can't do that. My mama coming to get me. So the boy says to him this, indictment on our community. And that's why you need people like Harold Davis and some of the rest of us working with these kids. We don't need all these imported mentors in here that you done trained telling us how to deal with them because you don't even understand their language. This boy says to his friend, okay, you don't want to walk me? Well, if I get shot, don't come to my funeral. I said, what the hell? You mean to tell me that the way you say goodbye to your friend, if I get shot and die, don't come to my funeral? That's what on their mind. He didn't get shot and he didn't run into nothing negative. He got in his Uber and he went on. So I talked to the other boy and I looked at him. But they didn't even see what was wrong. What was wrong is that that's how they see life. So if they take a pill or they smoke some of this reefer, and that's something you got to think about, and we're going to talk about it. Now that reefer is legal, kids have bought into these little white folks' conversation, kids are self-medicating. Boy, you drunk. You ain't self-medicating. Boy, you high. That ain't self-medicating. Boy, you on pills. That ain't self-medicating. That's doped out. But CPS say now they are going to relax the penalties for smoking reefer and being high in school, for drinking and being drunk in school, for taking pills and being out of your mind in school. You hear what I said? So all of them years we was in the school telling kids that smoking marijuana kills 2,000 brain cells. Now what are we telling them? Oh, it's okay because the government needs some money. So by the time you get 21, you're going to just be a rattling head fool. Huh? Is that what we're going to say? Because now the government saying that all that we did for the last 30 years was a lie, and now you can come to school high as a kite. High as a kite, and instead of being punished, we're going to just let you be high. You see what we're going for? And then you called yourself a reverend. You called yourself a steward. You called yourself a representative of the people. I call you a liar. How ain't you going to help tell a kid that he can come to school high on reefer, stinking up the place, distracting other kids? I'm out of here. See you next week.